activism is far more nuanced, and it does require more discussion. But at the end of the day, it is a part and parcel of what we must do. It is a part and parcel of our fard kifaya living in these lands. And of course, it's not my place to tell you which specific course of action, which candidate, which politician. I am not a Canadian. Your Canadian elders, and even, by the way, even in America, I have a policy, and that is that people of knowledge should not specifically endorse particular candidates. That's my policy. My job is not to tell you who to vote for, because that's not my forte. I'm not a political analyst. I'm not a social scientist. My job is to tell you, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants you to get involved as much as you can to change this world for the better. And one of the ways we need to do that is to get involved in the political process. That's my job. My job is to tell you there's nothing wrong with getting involved. Those voices that say it's haram to vote, it's shirk to vote, it's kufr to vote, I do not doubt their sincerity, but I doubt their knowledge of the tradition, and I doubt their understanding of reality. With respect to their sincerity, I'm telling you bluntly, overlook them, bypass them, let them hold these views, and then go to the voting polls, go to the booth stations, and cast your vote for those who are not going to allow the genocide to take place overseas. It is our duty to do so. It is our duty to do so. It's your God-given right. It is your constitutional right to do so. Get involved in the political process. Oh Muslims, if you're 15% of the city, and you are, 15% of the city is of a Muslim background, then subhanAllah, I'm sorry to be a little bit blunt here, why don't we see that 15% represented socio-economically and politically? Why don't we? If you are 15%, which you are, claim your rights, claim your heritage, claim your possibilities, and actualize your potential. Let us see that influence in a positive manner, and do not feel guilt-tripped by the far right, by the naysayers, by the hate mongers, by the Islamophobes amongst us. When they come to you and they say, oh, so you guys are voting according to your religion, you guys are wanting to influence the system, you guys are wanting to do your own stuff amongst us. Claim it, own it, say what's wrong? I'm a Canadian and I have the right to cast the vote as I see fit. You disagree? You cast your vote. You cannot make me feel guilty for doing what is my God-given right. Do not feel intimidated. Own up to this. Acknowledge it. This is your land. You are a part of this country. This is your country. You are Canadian. Own it. Do not be embarrassed at it. And then express it. And express it at every single level. At the social level. At the political level. At the economic level. Because this is how we are going to be a part of this nation. We want our countries to be the best countries. No problem with that. There's nothing wrong with that. I speak to you as an American. I do not want my country to fund a genocidal war. I am ashamed and embarrassed at my own country. If I am ashamed, how can I sit back and do nothing? I have to stand up. I have to motivate. I have to preach. I have to teach. I have to influence. I have to vote. And I do it not just for the sake of my Lord, not just for the sake of my ummah, not just for the sake of Gaza. This is my civic duty. This is my constitutional right. This is my democratic process. And let nobody guilt-trip you into feeling bad about this. So, Muslims, to finish up here, these are my 3 points. Spiritual change, social change, and political change. And the last point I want to say for all of our sakes, brothers and sisters, is that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has promised that this ummah and this religion will indeed succeed. That is the promise of Allah. Allah has promised it. هو الذي أرسل رسوله بالهدى والدين الحق ليظهره على الدين كله ولو كره الكافرون ولو كره المشركون. This is the promise of Allah. Allah will protect His religion. Allah will protect His believers. Allah will protect the oppressed people. Don't doubt the promise of Allah. The promise of Allah is true. The question is not whether the promise is true or not. The question is, what are you and I doing to help that promise? That is what Allah will ask us. And if we are doing everything we can, in whatever capacity we have, then like I said at the beginning, as long as we are part of the process, as long as we are part of the solution, as long as we are helping the cause of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then we have succeeded even if we don't see success in this world, Allah will bless us, the Ummah will thank us, history will be on our side. O Muslims, stand up for the sake of Allah, be on the side of truth and justice, and Allah will bless you in this world and the next. Jazakumullahu khairan. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.